husband and I made $150,000 last year, and we live paycheck to paycheck. Let's talk about it. I never thought that I had a problem or that I needed to learn to budget until I realized that we spent $150,000 last year, and I have nothing to show for it. I mean, I have a house, I have a car, I have all those things, but they're not $150,000 worth. So where did the money go? I spent it. That's where the money went, and that was what I wanted to change. That's why I did a low buy year. That's why I'm budgeting as hardcore I am. I use 3 different spreadsheets to budget, and that might seem insane, but that's what I need to do in order to have it all managed. I need to look at my money. I need to stare at it. I need to think about it. It needs to be on the front of my mind, because if I passively use it, then I'm not paying attention and I spend it all. And that's the truth.
I was on TikTok, my For You page, a woman popped up and she was like, me and my husband make $150,000 a year. A lot, right? Well, to me, that's a lot. And she's like, we live paycheck to paycheck. And I'm like, wait, in my head, I'm like, we live paycheck to paycheck. You make $150,000. How are you living paycheck to paycheck? And she was just saying, like, even if you make more, you still live paycheck to paycheck. And now I'm in my brain like, so we're trying to grind to make all this money, but we're still going to live paycheck to paycheck? Like, that's what she's making me think. And I don't want to believe that's true, but is that technically true? She's like, I have a house, I have 2 cars, I do this and this with my kids, but we still live paycheck to paycheck. And I'm like, is there even a point of trying to grind? Like, is there a point where you're just like catching the money, but you still live paycheck to paycheck? Like, it's like a circle. It would be never ending. And I'm just like, for people that actually make $150,000, do you live paycheck to paycheck? Is that true? Because I don't want to believe it's true.
When I think about it, I'm not poor, but I live paycheck to paycheck. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I have money, but not, like, enough. You know what I mean? Because by the time I do have money, it's the next bill. It's the next month, and I have to pay my bills. So, I'm low-key poor. I don't know, whatever.
When you live paycheck to paycheck, there is no such thing as a due date. Your due date is moot. You're not going to get it when you say it's due. You're going to get it when we motherfucking have it. And also, if I pay my bill on Friday when I get paid, and you are a creditor connected to my direct checking account, why won't you just take that shit? You have isn't Saturday considered like a half business banking day? Post that shit on Saturday. If I pay it on Friday, post that shit on Saturday. So now here you come after I've had to fucking pay all my bills and also pay for groceries and shit. And you think you're gonna get my shit? Psh. Am I the only one feeling stuck in a dead-end job in a small town I've been in my whole life, and I can't freaking figure out how to get out? Like, obviously save the money and move away, but when you live paycheck to paycheck, there's nothing to save and there's nowhere to go, and it's just like this vicious freaking cycle, and it's so exhausting. And yes, I could pick up more hours or pick up a second job, but I also am raising children who I never see already. You know, it's to the point where there is no work-life balance. It's impossible. I need some advice. Like, bro, how do y'all do this? How do y'all just go? Like, you know, I get lucky if I can splurge on eating out, much less randomly, spontaneously taking a whole vacation or a whole trip. Like, this is a struggle out here. What are y'all doing?
Okay, so did y'all know that 1/3 of 6-figure earners are living paycheck to paycheck? And paycheck to paycheck is if one of your paychecks does not come, you could be on the street without a car, hungry, destitute, and desperate. Paycheck to paycheck also is when your paycheck come, you spend all of the money the same day, and then the next day come and you ain't got no money. You literally have to wait until the next paycheck. I feel like a lot of Americans have gotten in the very bad habit of just lifestyle creep, especially six-figure earners. The only way to get out of this cycle is by y'all already know what I'm gonna say, budgeting. I realize that a lot of people do not like to budget because it makes you have to face what you have done with your finances. And I'm here to tell you, it's okay. It is okay. There is no point in you being down on yourself because shoulda, woulda, coulda, and did not. It's all good. Now is the time to actually correct the mistake. The reason why I know it's going to be okay is because I've been in credit card debt 3 different times and was able to get out all 3 times. You are not alone. So if you make 6 figures, there's a link in the bio where you can actually book your consultation to become a one-to-one client. Or if you do not make 6 figures, there's a link in the bio where you can also join the membership. I meet with the members every Wednesday. I go over their budgets with them, and I ensure that they're getting out of credit card debt. When you become a one-to-one client, same thing. However, I am the one that's creating your budget for you, and I'm also the one that's monitoring your spending. So whether you become a member or a one-to-one client, regardless, you're getting out of credit card debt, because over here at the Roselle Jamise firm, we don't play that. But anyways, I look forward to serving you soon.
All right, I keep seeing people on here saying that they're living paycheck to paycheck on a $120,000 salary. And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong and you're just really bad at spending your money. General disclaimer, this is for people that are just single people, no kids, no nothing, no outside expenses. But at the end, I'll explain that you still have enough money left over for those kinds of things if you need. So, $120,000 a year. Anyone knows there's 12 months in a year? You could do simple division, 120,000 divided by 12, that is $10,000 a month. But oh no, we pay taxes, whatever, 25% of that, 25% of 10,000 is 2,500. Take that off, you're clearing $7,500, $7,500 in your pocket. Awesome. But let's pay for the stuff that we need to live. All right, rent. Highballing rent, $3,000. That's if you're living in LA, you're living in New York City. That's a highball. Most people probably pay $1,500 at most. But say $3,000. You're at $4,500, $4,500 in your pocket. All right. But we want to pay utilities because we like lights and we like, heat. So that's another like $200. Take that off. You have $4,300. Groceries, because who doesn't want to eat and survive or whatever. Another $200 a month for just you. You should not be spending more than $200 a month. If you have roommates or whatever, that's different, but you're splitting the cost. Anyway, $200 a month for you, $4,100. Now, let's just say you have a new car, you're paying it off, you got that $500 monthly expense, take another $500 off, still sitting at a cool $3,600, which let me remind you is more than some people make in a month. Anyway, but you also have a phone, because who doesn't? It's 2023. We all sit on those things all day. That is another $100 a month about. So you're down at $3,500. But say you're someone who also has some student loans, who doesn't at this day and age, right? So that's another $500, but you're still sitting at $3,000 of cleared money in your pocket. But let's hypothetically say you're also someone like me who recently, I didn't turn 26 yet, but I will be, and I will need to buy my own health care. You get a Gucci premium package, $200. 3,000 minus 200, that's $2,800. $2,800 in your pocket. That is all you technically need to spend. Yes, you still have enough money to pay $40 a month for the gym. You still have enough money to pay, whatever the heck you do. But all the expenses you need to pay leave you with $2,800. You could pay for a kid on that. You could buy a house. Start spending your money better. Thanks.